the Zelda franchise is among one of the best franchises ever made, and no one can argue with that. Most of the games in that franchise are outstanding, and the 2011 Wii game and the first game in the Zelda timeline is no exception. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is an amazing addition to the series, and it's probably the best in the entire Zelda franchise. Hello everyone, VincentWeir here, and I will be giving my review to The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword definitely classifies as a Zelda game, since it has recognizable characters like Link and Zelda. Speaking of those two, they actually have a nice relationship with each other. But the big difference with this entry than all the other Zelda games is that it has fluent controlling. Skyward Sword has you using your Wii Remote and Nunchuck for motion control swordplay, instead of the regular B button function where you have to keep mashing it to defeat an enemy. The motion controls in this game is one-to-one, and it works fluently and efficiently. For example, if you bring your arm to the right, Link will bring his sword to the right. And if you swing your Wii Remote, Link will swing his sword. It works so well that I didn't want to go back to the traditional B button function again. Twilight Princess had motion controls, but compared to Skyward Sword's motion controls, it makes it look like it didn't work that well. The motion controls also work with items. The claw shots, for example, use a pointer to shoot to a grabbable object and bring you to it. It works well like the swordplay, but if you get into an issue where the pointer doesn't work, you can fix it by pressing down on the D-pad. Nice job, Nintendo. Even though you need the Wii Motion Plus to have these controls, it's still fun and worth it. In every Zelda game, there has to be dungeons. And the dungeons in this game are pretty great, like the Ancient Cistern, Sky Keep, Earth Temple, Sandship, Volcano Summit, and more. They all have a good layout, with tons of rooms to explore with collectibles, stuff you need to go further into the dungeon like small keys, and new items to get like the beetle, bow and arrow, and more. And when you're in a Zelda dungeon, it obviously has to have mind-twisting puzzles. It nearly takes me hours to complete a dungeon because of its set of puzzles, ranging from shooting a faraway target to using an item to do something in a room to advance. All the puzzles in this game are really good, and it makes it feel like you're playing a Rubik's Cube, like moving the rooms around in Sky Keep to get the 3 pieces of the Triforce. While most dungeons in this game are well designed and filled with smart puzzles, there is a dungeon that is actually pretty bad. And that dungeon is the Lanairu mining facility. It took me nearly half a day to complete that dungeon because it was way too hard and the rooms were scattered to many places within the dungeon, and it was confusing to know where I was going. And the puzzles were way too frustrating in this dungeon, and the coloring in it is really bland until you hit a time shift stone and go back in time and see all the fantastic coloring that the dungeon needed. But other than that, the dungeons in this game are pretty great. Everybody knows that the Wii can go up to 480i in terms of graphics, since it has an AV cable, and games on the Wii can probably look a bit blurry, except for some titles. But on Skyward Sword, the game looks absolutely gorgeous. The amount of shine and detail on everything looks amazing, and it has so much color. I swear, if they make an HD remake of Skyward Sword, this game would look much more beautiful than it already is. You better listen to me, Nintendo. I'm giving you some good ideas here. Just like Twilight Princess, you have a partner. But this time, the partner is a spirit in your sword named Feet. She is a masterful companion, and I like how she can give an analysis on everything you encounter or go to. It's helpful to use her analysis mechanic on enemies, like Girahim for example. Most people say she's annoying, but in my opinion, she's actually great. Actually, she's the best companion in any Zelda game ever. In my opinion, that is. Now, let's talk about the overworld, which people tend to call barren. And yes, I can agree that the sky is barren, but it should be, actually. Nintendo probably made the sky a bit more empty so that players can get to their destination easily. Not only that, but there are some boost rocks that can speed things up. Well, at least Nintendo did something to make up for the emptiness in the sky. There are also some islands where you can get lots of collectibles and extras. Speaking of the collectibles, there are so many of them scattered around the lands of Farron Woods, Elden Volcano, and Llanero Desert. You can actually use some of these collectibles to upgrade most of your items, which is a very cool thing. But it will take you days upon days to get every collectible and upgrade everything completely, such as shields. So spare time is required to do everything in this game. Back to the overworld, there is a new hub called Skyward, which the game starts on. And may I say that it's one of the best intros ever. I mean, it's an island in the sky. How much cooler can that get? Skyward is also so complex that it's easy to navigate through. There are many bridges on parts of the island, so you can jump on your bird at any time. And there's also side quests that you can do. So yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of it. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword thrives as a perfect Zelda title, and it really is fun to play. I completed the main story in about 28 hours, but with its fun dungeons, mind-twisting puzzles, collectibles, fluent motion controls, and amazing presentation cannot be doubted. Overall, I'm giving The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword a score of 9.5 out of 10. It's a really excellent Zelda game, and it might be the best one in the entire series. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching my review. Subscribe for more. I'm VincentWeir, signing off.